tickets to different bills. At Uncle Demi, you need it, I got it listed here. You wanna make it, I'll show you just how to make it here. I got all the rarest bills, and I ain't done yet. Went from the finish to making bills like a prospect. Flow space and slashes to catching us with a lot of threat. You keep the medals cause the real one's coming up next. Only scratch the surface, still they try to drag my name.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is your man, Uncle Demi, and today I have another special banger for you. Right now, listen, before we get in this video, man, you know exactly what you need to do, man. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Dropping a like definitely pushes the videos to the recommended. So if you love Uncle Demi's content, and you love what I got going on, dropping a like just pushes it out there so other people that might not know about me get an opportunity to finally get to meet, you know, Uncle Demi. And of course, if you also support what I have going on, subscribe. Just subscribe and just lets me know, like, hey, I really mess with you, Uncle Demi. I appreciate what you got going on, right? So let's go ahead and do that, man. And also, let's try to get this video to 500 likes, all right? Let's get this video to 500 likes and see what we can do from there, right? So let's get straight into this video. We're going to talk about the one and only Charles Barkley. Yes, sir. Charles Barkley, the one and only. Now, as you know, Charles Barkley's not on the game. That's why usually when I start this video, I am at the rosters showing the player. We talk about the badges he has, his attributes, and all that type of sort. Well, we don't have that today, right? We don't have that today because in this situation, Charles Barkley is not on the game because he doesn't want to be on the game. All right, so I'm gonna have a quote that I'm gonna read to you real quick. All right, I'm gonna pull it up on the screen so you can read along with me. All right, it says, the reason I'm not on 2K is because they will not give me money, right? They make a lot of money on the game. What I said to them was, we as players have not done enough for the Retired Players Association, right? So I'm gonna stop right there. So the Retired Players Association basically is this, is that once a player leaves the NBA and he's retired, he has an option to be a part of the Retired Players Association, right? Obviously, Take-Two and 2K, they have an agreement with the Retired Players Association. If you're part of the Retired Players Association, then obviously you will be in the game and then you will get a cut from whatever that agreement is, or that deal is with the Retired Players Association, right? So obviously, that's the reason why Charles Barkley, Reggie Miller, Manu Ginobili, there's a lot of good players that are on this game that are in the NBA that aren't on this game because they're not a part of the Retired Players Association. So hopefully that gives you some insight. But anyway, let's continue to read on. Let me see. We told 2K people that our job is to take care of the older players. I don't even want any money. I said, let's come up with the amount of money for you to give the Retired Players Union. They said, we'll get all the guys the same. I said, well, we ain't all the same. I told them they make $1 gazillion at the game. They said, we're not going to do that, which is give them money. So let me see. So I'm not giving them the right to use my license until they come up with a fair number. I'm not trying to be a pig or greedy. They should donate the money to retired players. If they would give $1 million a year to Retired Players Union, they can use my likeness, right? So obviously, you know, Charles Barkley's fighting a good fight. You know, and that's usually how it is for a lot of retired players. They feel like they're not getting the same type of benefits that they are when they're active. And obviously, me being a former pro athlete myself, I mean, you know, even though I was part of the Major League Baseball Association, that is so true. When you're an active player, you get way much more benefits than you are when you're a retired player, right? But I agree 100% with Charles Barkley and what he's trying to do. It sucks for us. It sucks for us not to be able to have the Reggie Millers and a lot of good players on the game. But what I decided to do is I'm going to bring y'all Charles Barkley. All right. So real quickly, let's just go down some things about Charles Barkley. Right. So obviously Charles Barkley is a power forward. All right. He's power forward. He is 6'6". Right. He's a 6'6" power forward. So believe it or not, he's the same height as Michael Jordan. If you look at some of the video of the 91 season when they beat the Phoenix Suns in the championship, you can see them standing side by side, and Michael was actually a little bit taller than him. So he might be 6'5" and some change, right? But we're still gonna make him a power forward, okay? We're gonna make him a power forward. We could technically put him at small forward, because he does have some instances where he played small forward, which for a very, very, very brief time when he was playing with the 76ers, he did play maybe 3 seasons, and it was kind of like he played small forward, right? But let's be honest, he's a power forward. He's recognized as a power forward. He's definitely one of the top 5 power forwards to ever play. I would say he's number 4, right? I'll say number 1 would be Tim Duncan. Number 2 would be Karl Malone. Number 3 would be Kevin Garnett. And number 4 would be Charles Barkley. And obviously, you know, Charles Barkley is a complete different player than all the 3 that's in front of him. Charles Barkley was a freak of nature, man. He was the type of individual at 6'6", that should just let you know, to be 6'6" and for your career to average over 11 rebounds a game and score over 22 points a game. And like I said, man, to be the type of player that he was, 11-time All-Star, it takes immense talent to be able to do what he did down low with bigger bodies. He was just so athletic. He was so strong. He could jump out of the building, right? You got to understand, man, the Charles Barkley that we see now is a shell of himself. And I know a lot of y'all will have to look at highlights to even recognize him playing. The last time he played was in 2000, right? So most of y'all weren't even born yet when that happened. But man, when I tell you he was a combination of, I guess you can say, Zion Williams, right? Which was, you know, Zion 6'6", 280 pounds. He's 6'6", 250, but he could dribble the ball down the court. He could dunk on you. He could shoot it. He could do it all. He could do it all. He was all in one. And obviously that's why he's considered one of the greatest top 50 players to ever play in the league. And even if they were doing an updated version, he would still be in there. He was just that good and that dominant. So what we're going to do today, my nephews and nieces, we're going to go ahead and try to make the one and only Charles Barkley. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. This is something completely different than what we usually do for the simple fact of that he's not on the game, right? So let's hop right into it. What we're going to do is we're going to use the blue and red pie chart. Obviously, he was a great rebounder. He was a great finisher at the basket. So Charles Barkley, he did he was more face up. He did do a combination of posts, but he was like the face up and just go straight to your rack and dunk on you, to be honest with you. He was really good in transition. Half court set, he did a lot of face up, mid ranges, and just kind of like, you know, body, this straight back down punisher, straight to the rack, right? Type of deal. He was just that talented and that strong. So we're going to go with this build here. Then, of course, we're going to go with the well balanced because, again, he was strong. He was fast. He could jump. Like, there wasn't anything that he couldn't do. There was no limitations to his game physically. So we wanted to make it balanced as possible, right? And then when it comes to the finishing, we want to max out the top 4. Just max it all out. No ifs, ands, or buts. There you go, 19, right? Then we want to go ahead and max out the mid-range and his 3-point shot, and that's it, right? Then we want to max out the rest of here, right? Because he could dribble, we want to make sure that we can represent that. Then we want to max out his interior, his lateral quickness. We want to go 85 on his defensive rebound. We want to go 80 on the offense. We want to go 75 on the block, all right? So what you're looking at is 19, 1, 12, and 16, all right? So what you're going to ask yourself is that, hey, you know, why did you put anything in the shooting if you don't even have the badges for it? Well, the thing is that I've played so long on my lob threat before I got quick draw on it to get my shooting badges, because I have all my shooting badges now. When you play with a build like this and you're open, you use 38, the shot is slow, but it's still pretty freaking fast. Like, you have to understand, base 38 without quick draw, it's still faster than like base 98 with silver quick draw, right? So a lot of people don't understand that base not 38 is extremely fast base, right? So you can get away and still hit shots all day and every day with this. Now, of course, you hit legend, which is something I'm trying to strive for and knock out within the next couple weeks. Then obviously this is going to be even more goated, right? Because I'm going to have 10 shooting badges and that's going to look even better. But what I wanted to do is to make sure that I represent that he could shoot a little bit. Now, was he the greatest 3-point shooter of all time? Nah, man. He probably shot like 20-some% from the field. What did he shoot? Let's take a look. Let's see. What did he shoot for his career? 3-point line. he was a 26% shooter, right? Shot 26%, right? But at the same time, I mean, 26% is 26%. He did shoot it, and he liked to shoot in the mid-range, so 65, right? But here's the cool thing, right? So what we're gonna do, we definitely want to keep him built. Obviously, he was chiseled, right? He was 6'6", but we can only go down to 6'7". So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put him at 6'7", right? He was 252 pounds, so we're putting him at 252, right? And then his wingspan, we'll leave it the same, right? So 83.8. His wingspan is basically, that's what it was. His wingspan was 83. So we can do that, but I didn't want to go 82.8. I'd rather just do 83.8, right? So now let's look at some things that are really cool, right? His strength is 95, so he'll have 99 strength, right? So that's pretty dope, right? He will also have a 90 vert, okay? He would have a 81 acceleration and an 89 speed, right? So now we're doing +5s here. He have a 71 mid-range shot, a 56-3, 75 ball handling, 80 post moves, and an 81 pass accuracy. He'll have 87 interior defense, a 90 defensive rebound, 84 offensive rebound. I mean, the list goes on and on and on about how solid and how good of a build this is. This is a perfect rendition of Charles Barkley. You even have a 75 ball handling. I'm telling you right now, you don't understand how good of a coast-to-coast player he was, how well he could handle the ball, how he could create his own shot. He was just that good. I mean, when you're talking about a top 5 and a top 5 power forward, and top 50 player ever playing NBA, and when I say top 50, that's not something that I'm talking about. That's something that the Writers Association, when they voted, they put him in the top 50. Now, that vote did happen like in the early 2000s. It does need to be updated, but he will still be in the top 50. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's that good. He's probably a top 25 player. Maybe you can even argue maybe top 20 player of all time. So, I mean, he's just, like I said, he's just that good. What you want to go here, you have some choices, right? He was a tenacious, right, rebounder, but he was a hell of a finisher, right? So you can go either or here. He was a good defender also. But for me, obviously, slash and takeover is really OP. So we'll go up the slash and takeover. And obviously, the slash and takeover give you +10. So you have an 85 ball control, and which will be crazy. You can speed boost with this build, right? So he's called a paint beast. Listen, when you look at Julius Randle and Zion Williamson, Julius Randle is a poor man. Charles Barkley, obviously, if you see how he plays, how Julius is able to just shoot the mid-range shot, put the ball on the floor a little bit, get to the basket, create his own shot. Zion Williamson is on that upper echelon with a Charles Barkley. So a lot of people gonna think like Zion Williamson is so great, he's this and that. Well, Charles Barkley was just like that when he came into the league. Zion has potential to be, listen, if Zion Williamson has a career just like Charles Barkley, that's a Hall of Fame career, and you're a top 50 player of all time. So if Zion Williamson can hit that, that is there is no disrespect to Zion Williamson to compare him to Charles Barkley. And I'm pretty sure if Charles Barkley was asked if he thought Zion Williamson was a good comparison to him, I'm pretty sure he would say that is head on, right? So let's go ahead and test out this build real quick. All right, first let's get him to 99. And then we'll go over some badges, all right? And then get y'all out of here. So we're here. For the finishing badges, of course, you want to go contact finisher. You want to go consistent finisher. You want to go with your fancy footwork. Where are you at? You want to go a back down punisher, right? You want to go a drop step. Let's go back down punisher and let's put that on gold, right? We also want to put giant slayer because that is what, obviously at 6'6", he's going to definitely need that giant slayer. So I think that these combinations right here would be great. Obviously, there's more badges I would love to add in here, but I mean, we're limited to 19. So that's what we're going to go with. Right, for the shooting badges here, I would just go with Hot Zone Hunter, right, and call it a day. And then for your playmaking badges, where you at? Post spin technician, quick first step, and you want to have Dream Shake. These right here are very, very important, right? Of course, you want to have your bailout on bronze, and then the rest is on pluckable because you are able to dribble. So you want to make sure you can take care of that ball, right, when you're dribbling with this build. I feel like this build is, like I said, extremely toxic for what it is, man. Extremely toxic build, right? Then what you want to do here, of course, as a power forward, you're going to be playing a lot down low, but let's just talk about some things here. You want to make sure you have Intimidator, right? You want to have Chase Down Artist. You want to have your Rebound Chaser. You want to have Rim Protector on bronze. All right, you want to get your pogo stick on silver. You want interceptor on bronze again, because like I say, interceptor is a really good badge, right? That leaves you with 5 left, right? So now there's a couple things you can do. To me personally, if I'm running on the 2s, right? It depends. If usually I'm ISOing this build right here, you do not have to set screens. You can actually play in the corner because you do have a nice 65, 70 mid-range shot. You might have to use it on brick wall if you need to. Maybe you want to put box out on silver, worm on silver, right? Me, of course, I always want to go with post moves. I like taking the post moves away. So that's something I can do on a 2s court, right? But also you can go with clamps if you need to. So it's really your call. I'm just gonna go with box out and I'm gonna go with worm right here. I just think that's a good combination, okay? So it's your build, it's your Charles Barkley build. You can do whatever you want. But as you can tell, this is a solid build, round and round. You can now have to worry about the shooting badges. You can still do well with that. Excuse me. So my nephews and nieces, hopefully enjoyed this video, man. This is a Charles Barkley build. Hopefully I gave you some insight on why Charles Barkley and some of these other great legends aren't in the game. Hopefully they can, reconcile this and be able to come to some type of agreement so we can get him in the game. But other than that, my nephews and nieces, this is Charles Barkley build. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and of course, your man, Uncle Demi. I'll be back really, really soon, another banger. When I say I'll be back soon, another banger, you know exactly what day I'm talking about, man. I'm talking about tomorrow. I'm out.
Yeah, rare form, yeah.